Well, guys, yeah, I'm just wearing a little bit of a different attire, and I've just snapped myself this Nike hoodie. Looks really good, fits really nice, really like it. But just before we jump into the video, just want to do some housekeeping. And the first thing I'd like to ask you guys is if you could pop down the bottom there. I think it's just over here in the corner. And that's the like button. If you could hit that, it'd be really good. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, that'd be really appreciated if you do that down below, because I want to keep presenting this content to you without any embedded ads that you see on a lot of these YouTubers, because I'm a little bit different to a lot of these YouTubers. I don't get these products, and I'm probably a little bit polarized to a lot of products, so I'm not going to get too many offers. So to keep that completely free of these companies and being influenced by sponsorship, please just do that for me. It's completely free, and it really gets the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm going. And also, we're getting close to 5,000 subscribers. So, guys, please help me get there. That'd be really appreciated. Well, anyway, this video is about the Sensah Empire Pro group set, and it's a 12-speed, and it's a mechanical. You can get it in disc or rim brake, and it's got a lot of carbon on it. It looks pretty sexy, and it's around about $400 USD. Now, the question here is this group set going to fill that void that Shimano was left with, the 105 mechanical rim brake that they're not offering anymore? And this group set is significantly cheaper than 105. And when you look at it, it seems to have a similar quality. So let's roll the intro and let's have a bit of a closer look at this new group set that's come out from Sensah, or maybe not a new group set, but it's become more attractive because of Shimano opening the door at these lower price group sets. Well, there's a number of reviews on YouTube, and certain people have found certain little things that they found wrong with them. And one of the biggest complaints that I've heard is the group set doesn't come kind of as a complete kit. It's almost like Sensah have got a few other components where they've kind of added them in. Like, you don't really get a chain, you've got to get a separate chain. And if you order the chain, it's not actually their chain, it's someone else's chain. And if you get the disc brake version, disc brakes are made by a third party. Now, this is not that unusual. Rota did this with their hydraulic group set, and the brakes and everything were made by Rota. But it's kind of not like, sometimes when you buy stuff from China, it's not like, doesn't feel like it's fully complete as a kit as if you would buy, you know, one of the top three like SRAM, Shimano, or Campinolo. So it's something a little bit you've got to live with for at that cheaper price. And that's one of the kind of criticisms that I've seen about this group set, that it's just, it's finished, but the box, like the components, are not really completely finished as a package to the customer. One of the other complaints that I've seen, that some of the parts on it are maybe not up to the quality of what we expect. The one of the reviewers mentioned that the rubbers on top of the brake levers was a little bit used to rotate, and when it wears and it becomes loose, and that's a little bit of annoying. But one of the positives about this group set is when it comes to the everyday operation, it works very well and it's pretty reliable. And people have done some reviews around about the 1,000-kilometer marks, and up to that point, it hasn't really give any problems. There was one issue with a part inside the brake lever, which was, I think, was made out of a carbon fiber or a plastic, and that tended to break. It was a bit of an issue with the design, and they changed that for an aluminium part. So now its durability has been improved. So this group set is continually being improved. And even if you say, hey, look, you know, it's a bit here and there, the price you're saving, you could go and buy these parts, like buy two of the brake levers as a backup, and it's still less than half the price of Shimano 105. And they're potentially arguing that this group set sits between the 105 and Ultegra, in that sort of area of finish and lightweight and all that sort of stuff. So it looks pretty good on the surface. And what I was going to have a look at is to see if I could probably contact this company and maybe get one and get a item that I can fit to a bike, try it out and do a review on it. But I do only have not that many subscribers, so maybe Sensah may not be up to that, but I'm going to shoot them an email or a communication and see if possibly I could get hold of one of these, because I must admit, even I'm very interested in this group set, because from what I've seen, I think it's, for what you pay for it, you're getting a hell of a lot of group set, even though some parts of it don't seem to be quite as finished as the name brands. But remember, with the name brands, you're paying a considerably bigger amount of money. So in conclusion, if you have a generalized view of what these reviewers are saying, then you probably really got to give it a try. The negatives to them are reasonably small, and at that price point, it's worth just giving it a go, because it's just not that expensive. And even if you probably had a problem with it and you need to even put your hand in your pocket to replace the parts, you're miles ahead on cost. So even if say the shifters lasted 2,000 Ks, or the rubbers on them and you had to buy new ones, you could just buy like a few pair and you're still going to be cheaper than 105. And you could buy, in fact, you could actually buy 2 group sets as a backup and you're still cheaper than 105. So it's really worth dipping your toe and having a look. I mean, I know people probably say, hey, look, buying stuff from AliExpress or buying something from a kind of manufacturer like that, your warranty may not be as good. But as I said, it's probably not really that big a deal at this price point, because you can buy 2 of them, and if you get 5 or 10,000 Ks out of it, I mean, you have to really say that that's good value at that price point. So it's kind of almost like a no-brainer. Should you try it? Yeah. But there was a few other little things that they did mention, was that the way the cassette has been designed, it fits onto a Shimano 11-speed. And that's another thing, compatibility is very good with it as well. So, but one of the criticisms was when you put the cassette onto the Shimano 11-speed, because it's only 11-speed, it's not been optimized for the 12-speed. And Campagnolo is the only other group set manufacturer that's done this. They've heavily dished the cassette on the back, so it's dished in like this. So it takes up the space of the spokes that are being dished on the wheel. And as that bigger cog gets further away, it's actually sitting inboard of the farthest part of the free hub. So it's sitting closer to the spokes. And if you don't get your adjustment right, same with Campagnolo, then you could, if you don't get that stop right, it can go into the spokes, and then you can rip your derailleur off and do all sorts of damage. That's just something that was to be pointed out. But I don't think that's really a flaw with a group set. It's actually been designed like that. And as I said, Campagnolo has done the same thing. So that's nothing that unusual. But what is really good, like Campagnolo has, they've kept the same free hub, or the system fits onto an old free hub system. Same with this Sensah Empire Pro. It fits onto an original Shimano 11-speed. So most of us have got that free hub on our bike if you ride Shimano, so you can very easily just fit this on. For me, it'd be a little bit different. I'd have to change my free hub back to a Shimano from Campagnolo to fit this on. But that's not even a big deal. I've got those hubs anyway. So that is one of the things you need to consider if you wanted to look at this new group set that they're doing. But it does seem like they fixed up most of the little issues that's been happening with the Sensah. And the other thing is, which is claimed, is that the group set is been designed by SRAM engineers. Now, people are saying they've confirmed this. Obviously, it's not in writing, so we don't know. But it seems to follow that, because the shifting mechanism is kind of a crossover between Shimano and SRAM. The whole brake lever moves, but the shifting is exactly the same as SRAM. So what it does is it's like a one-pull system. So you push the brake lever to the first click, it changes to a harder gear. If you continue to press it to the second click, then it goes to an easier gear. And then if you keep pressing, it goes to an easier gear, easier gear, easier gear. just like SRAM does. And that was a really nice shift. I used to have the SRAM Red 10-speed, and it's actually quite a nice shifting because you get that real mechanical feel when you push it past the harder click to the easier click. You can actually really feel the derailleur moving up the cassette. It gives a lot of feedback to the rider. Well, anyway, guys, leave your comments down below. What do you think about this new Sensah Empire group set? Do you think that Shimano opened up the doors for this new direct from manufacturer group set to fill that void? And do you think it's of a quality where it can compete with the main brands currently? Well, anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. And I will see you next vid. Cheers.